Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome to Tuesday, Sean. The day after everybody got, not everybody, but a lot of people get their fantasy teams either in or out of the playoffs, Sean. I'm very salty.
Are you out, I guess?
No, I got it the second one.
Okay.
But so here's why I'm salty. I lost by 20 points in the other league that would have put me in the playoffs, which is in fantasy football, not a lot. But I had Tyler Heineke as my quarterback because usually I have Carson Wentz or the other one was Tua, right? And neither one is very good because what I did is I expended my draft capital on like running backs and wide receivers. So Justin Jefferson and Deontay Johnson kept me alive through most of the year. And so I was contemplating between putting in my lineup either Guyton at wide receiver, the kid, because the kids from the people, Keenan Allen was out. Mm-hmm. And then for quarterback, I was going between him and Alex Collins on the back end. Collins from, and unfortunately somebody had picked up Rashad Penny. Otherwise I would have probably put him in there, which would have made all the difference in the world. But I was deciding between him. And then on the quarterback side, I was looking at either going with Garoppolo or with Heineke. And I decided to go with Heineke because the Cowboys defense tends to let up a lot of points in the air.
Oof.
So if I had gone with Garoppolo and I had gone with Guyton, I would have won by about 15 points. So I had a chance to, and I think if I had gone with Garoppolo, I would have probably won outright. And another thing I wanted to do that I just forgot to do is I wanted to switch out the kicker from Minnesota because I didn't want to have all those players on Thursday night, Pittsburgh, the wide receiver, and just in case it was a low scoring game. And I wanted to put in the kicker from Arizona, Matt Prater. And I just forgot to do it. And then the kicker from Arizona had 2 field goals over 50 yards last night.
Yep.
And I think he scored like 15.
3 field goals overall. Yeah.
Yeah. So he scored like 15 points. So if I had put him in, and so if I had done that, what's up, Drew? Had I gone with just the kicker, Prater, and Garoppolo, I would have won.
Yeah.
And what sucks about that is Collins got me like 2 points. Dalton Schultz, the tight end from the Cowboys, got me like 1 point, and my quarterback got me 14. Any one of those guys has an average day, I'm a winner. But anyway, what are you?
Yeah, and you called out Guyton. You said that Guyton was going to be all right, filling in for Keenan Allen too. So, and Garoppolo, as long as Kittle's out there, you're going to put up numbers there. I mean, that was hard to understand as the Bengals defense too. They're going to Kittle, and up and down the field they went with Kittle.
Apparently, Cleveland can't figure out what to do with Odell Beckham, but somehow they figured out what to do with him in Los Angeles, huh?
Yeah. Well, now he has COVID.
Oh, does he have COVID now?
Yeah, they're in intensive because he just played last night. So now their whole training thing and stuff is in intensive COVID protocol. So and it turns out, they'll just do more, safety measures.
Does that mean like the Chicago Bulls, the Rams are going to be their next game is going to be like flexed or something to like the next Thursday?
Possibly. I don't know. Tyler Higbee, who was out yesterday, actually had a false positive.
Oh, that's just
so crazy. He's off the list, and now Beckham's on the list, and who knows who else at this point.
How long do you think all this stuff is going to last?
I don't know, but it's really rearing its ugly head in the sports world again. So I don't know. Because now we had canceled games, like you said, with the Bulls. Now we had this whole thing with the Rams. I mean, and then Beckham just played last night, and apparently he had it. So
maybe it's a false positive again.
Hopefully.
But I mean, isn't that something he had it and he played and he had his best game?
That's what it's looking like.
It's almost an irony, Get Omicron and you'll play like Megatron.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, what else did you learn this weekend, Sean, on yesterday? Kyler Murray, not good enough? He had his whole. You know, one thing I don't understand.
You know what though? He did.
The only guy he passed the ball to was James Conner. At some point, you feel like the Rams said, "Okay, pass it to James Conner over and over again. We don't care."
Now, yeah, and the thing too, at the end of it, I mean, I was having a heart attack because I had that teaser. I needed Arizona to lose by less than 8 to win it, $25 to $275, and he was just throwing it up to the other team. I mean, I don't understand. Like, you have your wheels, he runs all around. Do at that point, do what you do in Madden and run the hell around and then throw the ball. But just throwing it to the 2 defenders, 3 defenders, and I mean more than once.
So are you saying you got lucky?
I did get lucky.
Is that a long about way to go say I got lucky?
In that teaser, this will make you real salty. In that teaser, I had the Giants plus 19. The score was 37-7 with 6 minutes left, and the Giants got 2 touchdowns at the end. I wrote it off. I really did.
I'm not salty. I'm not mad when other people win, Sean. I get salty when
jealous.
I lose.
You're just jealous.
I'm not jealous either. I have no heart. I lose like last night in the NBA. 216.5, and they come in at 216. And the funny thing is, the dude missed a free throw with like a minute, under a minute to go. He makes that free, and I knew when he missed that free throw, I said, you know what? I had this weird feeling that that's going to be the difference. And holy hell, if it wasn't the difference. But
yeah, I mean, I wasn't having good luck because I had Arizona, and I actually forgot about
good luck. You had great luck.
No. I
won
forgot
2 games you shouldn't have won.
I know. I actually won another. This
2 that you shouldn't have won.
Here's another one. I actually had a parlay too with under 40. It was one of those live bets. I had under 47.5 in the Dallas-Washington game. Well, Washington missed that extra point there at the end. It's the only reason I won that bet.
Oh my God. That never happens ever for me.
But last night I actually forgot, as I'm getting my butt kicked with Arizona, I forgot I had the teaser when they were down 14, and I went, oh no, I'm going to lose this one too. And then luckily that was just
the interceptions anyway.
I don't know. Arizona's in trouble now.
Off topic. Who do y'all like, Alabama or Cincinnati? That's a mortgage on Alabama, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I will be rooting hard for Cincinnati, but
it's a mortgage on Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama's probably not winning.
They're going to destroy them. I mean, why do you think they? Well, before when this has happened, when a team gets a disappointing bowl, then they go ahead and get beat. But when they're playing for something, they absolutely demolish these teams. I mean, think about the kids, and I hope Cincinnati wins too, right? Because they got disrespected the whole season long. They're undefeated. They almost beat Georgia last year. Just some, close stuff at the end of the game. But the kids who go to Alabama, right? When you're a kid growing up and you feel like I'm going to play professional football and Nick Saban shows up at your door, you're going to Alabama because you're going to get drafted, right?
No, I'm definitely going to Cincinnati.
You probably would, but if you play at Alabama, you're getting drafted, right? If you're on the bench because dad is a benefactor or a contributor,
and you're winning the Heisman Trophy, even though you didn't play all that well against Auburn, who wasn't that good this year. So.
But I think they're gonna mop them. The other game is interesting to me though, between Georgia and Michigan. Michigan's got to be the one that's kind of salty because they should have been number 1. They should be playing Cincinnati, and Alabama and Georgia should be playing each other. But the committee said, we didn't do it. We didn't want Alabama. We weren't trying to avoid that matchup. Oh, baloney.
Well, the thing
baloney.
is, I agree, but I do agree with Alabama should be 1 because Georgia's been number 1 team all year. They've been the best team all year until they lost to Alabama.
Minus a little bit of luck, Alabama's not even in that game.
It's
the entirety of the season, not just one game. And if you want to go down that road, if the quarterback from Michigan doesn't just flat out drop a ball, like the game is winding down, he takes the ball, he goes to roll out, and when he goes to roll out, he drops it, and the kid from Michigan State picks it up. They're just trying to kill the clock. Then the kid on the next play runs it in for a touchdown. So if he doesn't drop the ball, Michigan goes undefeated on the season. So if you want to do the if game, to me, 1 if is better than 10 ifs.
Unfortunately, what we're going to get is and I hope I'm wrong, we're going to get Georgia and Alabama rematch in the championship game.
No, we're not. Michigan's going to win the whole thing. Watch.
Really? Well, I don't know.
Because they're I think they're the most physical of the 4 teams that are in there.
And you're also relying, and you're not a fan of the Harbaugh brothers exactly.
I like Jim Harbaugh. I like John Harbaugh. I'm not a fan of them. I don't mind Jim Harbaugh, the coach from Michigan. I think he's a no BS kind of guy, and he's not politically correct. And Georgia quarterback is trash. Yeah, and the kid from that defensive end from Michigan is just a beast.
Aiden Hutchinson, yeah.
So I think I like Michigan to beat Georgia, and if they beat Georgia, because they got a powerful running game, they finally have a quarterback that's not just a complete waste of space behind there. And so I think Michigan's going to be ready to go.
We can all agree besides Drew, and sorry to do this to you, Drew, but I'll take any one of the 3 teams besides Alabama to win the championship. I don't mind. I
don't mind if Alabama wins. You got to respect Nick Saban, right? How can you be against? You're one of those guys that's envious of greatness, Sean. I mean, is that you?
No, I get tired of the same people winning all the time. That I do get sick of. I'm not. Even if the Jets won the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, and I know I never have to worry about this. This is why I became a Jets fan. I'd get bored with it.
I want to see Bama and Michigan too. SEC, Big Ten, and they should have set it up so it couldn't have got that way. All right, Sean. So enough of that. Let's talk a little bit. Well, there's really not a lot. But key injuries tonight. I think probably the biggest one, because it's a light schedule in the NBA, is Kevin Durant. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play?
Last I saw, it looked like he was going to play, and they kind of need to. They have a couple other players out. Aldridge is out with COVID protocols and stuff.
And guess what? Kyrie's going to come back. It's all over the news that Kyrie's going to play. Yeah, maybe not today, but
I was going to say I don't think he's
going to come back unvaccinated. I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I read.
They're allowing that. The other one is R.J. Barrett with COVID is out too in the Knicks game. Otto Porter for the Golden State's on rest. Other than that, Portland and Phoenix, you still got some banged up there. DeAndre Ayton again is a game time decision with an illness, so Booker's still out. McCollum's still out for Portland. So.
Yeah, but Dame Dollar's back, right?
Yes, he's been back. Yeah, he's been back, and they're still losing. So
Dame is not Dame. He should become 50 Cent now. Take over that moniker.
Yeah,
they're both has-beens now, huh? All right. Anyway, so into the NBA, Sean. Any particular? So I'm looking at this. There's really only one there's really not in the NBA kind of weird line movement. The only one that there's really kind of a differential or discrepancy is in that Raptors Nets game, the under and the over. So in the total, you have 70% of the tickets are on the over, but 71 cents on the dollar is on the under. Other than that, pretty much everything is pretty even, except in the Warriors game, maybe a little bit, because 2/3 of the money is on the Warriors, but 51 cents of the bets is on the Knicks. Outside of that, everything else is pretty much in line. Not a whole lot of difference between the smart money and the dumb money, which apparently was me going 0-4 last night. Oh, I hate every sport right now but NFL.
Yeah, I mean, you did lean the Rams. You should have taken them.
Should have bet the Rams. Yeah, should have taken them outright to win. I think defensively the Rams are better, right? They have better players, player for player than Arizona. I think they just overall they have better players. I mean, really, I would rather have from a quarterback standpoint. I'd rather have Stafford. From a wide receiving standpoint, I'd rather have Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham and Van Jefferson than Christian Kirk and DeAndre Hopkins. For running back, I probably lean a little bit towards James Conner. Defensively, I mean, Aaron Donald, there's nobody on Arizona side that matches that dude.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I mean, wide receivers, you could have an argument, but
I don't think you can. Cooper Kupp is on a record-breaking pace.
Cooper Kupp, absolutely, but as a team.
So would you rather have a Odell Beckham who it seems like he's playing better, or would you rather have Christian Kirk?
Well, see, the thing is, Beckham's just bad for the locker room. He'll prove that again, Well,
maybe it's tough to say. He'll get mad and propose to the kicking net again. All right, so into the NBA, Sean. Any games that you like tonight?
So I'm actually I think Golden State's going to win and giving up 5, but I'm actually going to do a prop bet on that. DraftKings is offering Curry to break the record in the first quarter. He only needs 2 threes to break the 3-point record.
What's the thing on that?
It's minus 110. So I'd imagine they're going to get it out of the way in the beginning here.
Well, I think they're not going to try to get it out of the way. I think they're just going to play in the routine of the game and know that he's going to get two.
I'll tell you what, though. If you watch Golden State the last couple of games, even last night, they're not playing normal. They're doing a lot of Curry's well aware of the record. Golden State's well aware of the record. He's just jacking up threes. So I'd imagine he's taking 5 or 6 in the first quarter, and I'm expecting him to make 2 of them and break the record.
So that's minus 110?
Minus 110, yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, you could take that. I'm not going to take it. If it's a plus line, I would take it because they're just luring you in. Luring, you know why? Just like they knew they weren't going to kick a field goal and a touchdown in every quarter last night, they know Curry's only going to make 1.
Yeah, maybe.
He's probably going to make 7. All right. Anything else that you like in the NBA? That means yes?
No. I wanted to go to the Suns against Portland, but the Suns did not look good last night against the Clippers.
They were horrible.
Then you got them on back-to-back.
Paul George, and they still got handed to them.
We were worried about the Clippers scoring, and it was the Suns having the problem.
Yeah, we have it upside down. That was all. It was upside down Monday. Sean.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do that in the NBA. Like I said, I'd lean the Suns, but Chris Paul in a back-to-back. If Ayton's out again, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't take that either. The only game I like in here tonight, Sean, Toronto played last night. I think Brooklyn probably wins this game, right? Do you think they at least win this game?
Yeah.
And if they win, 5 points is not that many. I don't feel like in the NBA, right? So I'm kind of hoping it's a close game so that I'm the beneficiary of free throws and missed threes at the end, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm going to take the only thing is if Durant doesn't play, that line's going to change a lot. Right? Then I'm doomed.
Yeah.
So if Durant, this is going to be my play, Sean. So we're going to have to, if Durant is in, I'm in. If he's out, I'm out. We should know that pretty soon, right?
Yeah. Like I said, the last I saw, I thought he was playing.
It said he's probable or questionable or one of those things. But anyway, I'm going to take Brooklyn minus 5. I can get that for minus 105. So I'm going to do that right now. And if like I said, if Durant doesn't play, I'm going to go ahead and go into my DraftKings account and I'm going to cash out. All right. So that's it for the NBA tonight. It's kind of a skinny schedule, only 3 games. In the Golden State, New York. Yeah, it's tough to say. I would probably lean towards Golden State in that game. As far as the totals are concerned, Sean, I think 2 out of 3. I was thinking about taking the under in the Phoenix-Portland game, although the computer says I should take the over. But like you mentioned, they had a hard time scoring last night, and Phoenix almost never goes over the total that they have there of 219, 220, almost never. Portland, on the other hand, almost always goes over, but they're struggling a little bit. On the other side, the New York Golden State game is a 50-50 on that under. I was thinking about taking the under, Sean, but it's really close to me. But that's the only other things I was considering.
Yeah, I agree with both, but it was too close to call for anything like that.
Right, well, that's why neither one of us are doing it. All right, college basketball, ton of games. Well, not a lot of games, and a couple of big teams playing tonight. Duke is on the court against South Carolina State. I think I bet on South Carolina. You know what's sad for me, Sean? I bet on a Rhode Island game in college basketball 3 times. I bet on them once to win and twice not to cover, and I've been on the wrong side all 3 times. So I hate Rhode Island.
Yeah, just stay away from Rhode Island. It's funny, we say this all the time, how many times it takes you to learn that kind of stuff, but 3 strikes and you're out, I think. Stay away from Rhode Island. Yes. I'll have to make a note of that, so when you say Rhode Island, I can put you in the right direction.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to hedge when I play them. Anyway, so what do you like in the college hoop scene tonight?
All right, so and this usually doesn't work out for me, but I don't see any. I'm going to take Creighton giving up 7 against Arizona State here. Now, I know I got burned with Creighton. I don't know if it was on here. Probably
so that's 1 strike.
Yeah, so I'm going to take Creighton.
So they got 2 to go.
Creighton, they're young, but they score. Arizona State, they're the ones, they had 28 points that one game. And they're going to Creighton. It's not like
they almost choked up when I had them in the next game. They were winning, and they just barely sneaked in at the end.
Yeah. Houston, another team I really like this year. They're giving up 23.5 to Louisiana Lafayette. I know it's a lot of points. Houston at home, though, good defense. I think they cover this, so I will take Houston. And then I think I had one more. Maybe I don't. No, I do. Alabama giving up 3.5 to Memphis. Memphis has been a disappointment this year, and Alabama's been really good. I think Alabama runs and guns and beats Memphis by more than 3.5 here.
All right, so I think let's see. So Houston, I can get you minus 106, Sean. And then for Alabama, let's find. So Creighton, you can get minus 107, giving up a touchdown. 23 for the Houston game. And then Alabama, for some reason that line is off. So whatever you're getting.
It was minus 3.5 for minus 110.
Okay. And for me, I'm going to break a rule again, Sean, because I really couldn't find anything else to do today. And in college basketball, I looked and I looked and I looked. I looked at Creighton. I looked at Alabama. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to find ways to get off. I'm going to go with Santa Clara later on today. They're visiting Boise State. I'm going to get 7.5 points. So I'm getting a touchdown and the hook. And I'm going to do that at minus 110, Sean. I feel like Santa Clara, when you look at the two teams, Santa Clara is a little bit better, a little bit more efficient on offense than Boise State. Boise State's a little bit more efficient on defense than Santa Clara. So the two things should kind of neutralize one another. Should be a pretty close game. I think Santa Clara actually has a chance to win. But if they were at home, I would definitely think about taking them for the win. But if I were going to money line Santa Clara, Sean, what am I going to get on Santa Clara to money line them? If I took them, I would get plus 275. I have them covering. I have them winning, or by so in the model, I have them winning by maybe a couple of points. And then I have them losing by a couple of points. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up. Half on Santa Clara to cover and half on Santa Clara at plus 275.
So 5 on each.
I'm going to put 10 on each today. Screw. I'm just going to make 3 bets. It's only 3 things going tonight. So F it.
Okay. So you're all in on Santa Clara.
Yes, baby. I'm double dipping on a road team and breaking all sorts of rules today, Sean, because I'm desperate, man. I'm chasing right now.
Yes, yeah. We all know that feeling.
Yes, but I'm only chasing with a small amount. So hopefully, and after going 0-4 last night, the gambler's fallacy, I'm due. So I should rebound tonight and go 3-0.
Yeah.
Which would make up for yesterday. All right, that's it for all the sports tonight, man. Anything else on your mind? I know college football kicks up on Friday, but we won't start till 10 o'clock, so we'll post that. Tomorrow, Sean, as I kind of jokingly said, I don't know what his schedule will be like, but apparently I'm always right about these things. We will not be here tomorrow because Sean has other things to do, and we'll be back on Thursday, right in time for the NFL fantasy playoffs, Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll see who's healthy to play and who's not.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of the NFL, I saw a bet today, Tampa Bay, most wins at plus 100. Tampa Bay, they play Carolina twice, they play the Jets, and they play somebody else that's not very good. So Tampa Bay is going to win out. So all you need is Green Bay or Arizona to lose one game, and you win that bet. And you can't lose that bet if Tampa Bay goes 4-0. You at least get half of it. So I saw it plus 100 at DraftKings and plus 120 at FanDuel. So if you're into the future thing, which I'm really not, you'd have to wait 4 weeks, almost 4.5 weeks to get paid. But if you have money to do it, I would bet Tampa Bay there.
You would at 110? But if they lose one
game, it's plus 100.
But if they lose one game in that mix, right?
If they lose one game, then you would need Green Bay and Arizona also to lose one game. Which Arizona's not going to win out. Green Bay has a chance to win out, but they do have some tough games. I mean, they're at Baltimore this week. That depending on Lamar Jackson. Although
depending upon. I mean, they're not all that good with Lamar of late.
Yeah, and actually Hundley's played pretty good, but Green Bay has some games they can lose. Tampa Bay does not really. Tampa Bay would just have to not show up. So I looked at that today. That looked like a good play. And then also Micah Parsons winning Defensive Player of the Year is actually behind Myles Garrett right now, and he's plus 350.
I don't think he should be behind Myles Garrett.
Yeah, exactly. So you're getting plus 350.
He's been the only reason why he might not get it is the NFL usually doesn't give people 2 awards like that. So what'll probably happen is he'll win Rookie of the Year, the Defensive Rookie of the Year. and he won't get the defensive player of the year, although he's been just an absolute wrecking ball on defense.
I'm looking at him, and I might get a $250 free bet from DraftKings, and I'm looking at maybe putting it on that plus 350.
How do you get a $250 free bet at DraftKings?
I had to bet so much. Bet a total, not like bet the actual amount, just bet with my winnings and stuff like that. So I have a couple days to do that. I think I'm gonna get there, and then I'll get two $250 free bets.
Well, maybe I would put it on Micah Parsons, but I just like the one thing I said, the NFL in these professional sports leagues, they tend not to double award people. And Micah Parsons, I think, is an absolute lock for defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, and obviously, if he's in for the defensive player of the year, he's got to be the rookie defensive. So, I do think he's having a better year than Myles Garrett, though.
Well, he's a wrecking ball. He is just a terror on the other side. They said when he was coming out that he was the best, off the, he doesn't play in the middle. He plays on the edge. So they said he was the best edge player since Lawrence Taylor. That's the kind, and he's playing like Lawrence. He's playing like that madman.
And where would Dallas be at right now without him?
Well, I mean, where would they be? There's one of those things that's hypotheticals. They are where they are because that's what they have.
I understand.
Every other team that drafted in front of the Cowboys had a chance to draft the kid, right? But they didn't. So just like a lot of other teams should have drafted Matt Jones instead of Justin Fields.
Yeah. But, that all goes to the system too.
Yeah.
Jones went to Belichick, and I'm not a big system believer, and that's what Brady is. I mean, you can see he's doing fine in Tampa Bay, but definitely for a young guy, it's not to be his whole career, but definitely a young guy, it worked out being with Belichick and the Patriots right now.
Well, I just feel like I watched college football in the Midwest, and you got a chance to see Justin Fields in Ohio State all of the time. And in college, the windows are much bigger to throw in the NFL, you rarely see a guy running 15 yards and no one's around him unless someone falls down or it's a blown coverage. You see that multiple times in one game in college football, right? Because one team's athletes are just that much better than the other team's athletes. And even in those situations, he was inaccurate, right? Same thing with Dak. Dak's got guys running wide open. He just doesn't hit them. And if you're missing dudes that there's nobody, there's, if they cut the field up into zip codes, if there's nobody into 3 zip codes close to that player and you're still missing them, you're not accurate. And I saw so many times Justin Fields, a guy's running around on the field. There's nobody around him. The guy has time to tie his shoe, stand up, and then still be open. and he still doesn't get the ball to him. So I know that he's not an accurate passer. And when he gets to the pros, first of all, you have a lot less time to make up your mind, right? And then when you do make up your mind, you have a much smaller, probably 5 times smaller margin of error to put that ball. So if you're inaccurate and you're making decisions quicker, so if you're inaccurate when you have time and guys are wide open, how are you going to be accurate when guys aren't in as open and you don't have as much time?
Exactly.
Matt Jones, one you could say about him is that he's playing in Alabama. He's playing against the SEC. All those kids that are playing in the secondary against them on Saturday are going to be playing against them in the secondary on Sunday.
Usually, yep.
So,
and go ahead.
So I feel like, he's back there. He's making decisions. He's processing that information, and he's hitting guys. He's more accurate. And if you're more accurate, then I think accuracy translates better to the NFL than arm strength and athleticism. Everybody's got arm strength. Everybody's an athlete, except Brady and Matt Jones. Neither one of them are athletes.
And you said about college, it made me think too, the bowls you said start Friday. You got to start checking before you start betting on all those games. You got to see who's actually going and who's not, because we have so many people that get out of the bowl games at this point to get ready for the draft and everything else. It really, really affects bowl season. So you can't go off of what you saw all year long.
Well, not, but I think if you're a kid stepping in, though, for that guy who's stepping out, you're on TV. And all these.
Oh, yeah. Games. I'm not saying they're not trying, but some of these, their best players aren't playing, and then you just get a resemblance of that team. You don't get the real team. So just be aware of that when you're betting. And, the line should affect it, too. But
it should reflect that.
Should reflect it, yeah.
All right, Sean. Well, we won't be back until Thursday because Sean's schedule is always up in the air. If you would be so kind, follow us on Facebook at Moneyline Madman and at Twitter, same handle. You can subscribe right here at Money. Well, it's not Moneyline Madman YouTube yet, but it will be soon. Subscribe at YouTube, and then anything else, Sean?
No, that's it.
All right, folks. As always, we hope that you have nothing but winning bets tonight, and that you stuff your pockets full of cash. See you on Thursday.